Morning to all. Today 11th Zoology, chapter respiration. From the chapter respiration, the last topic that is called regulation of respiration. How the respiration takes place in human body. The full detail we are going to study about that. The regulation of respiration. In the human brain consists of a specialized structure present in the hind part of the human brain. The human brain consists of forebrain, midbrain, and also the hindbrain. The respiration completely takes place by part of the hindbrain. The hindbrain is a specialized structure. The part of the hindbrain that is called is a medulla oblongata. The medulla oblongata is act as a respiratory center. Medulla oblongata is act as a respiratory center and also is helpful for rhythmic breathing. That's why it is called this rhythmic center. Hind part of the brain, specialized structure that is called medulla oblongata. The medulla oblongata is responsible for breathing and also is helpful for rhythmic breathing. Rhythmic breathing means inspiration, expressions. That's why it also is respiratory center and also rhythmic center. In addition to this medulla oblongata, another one of the center that is called pneumotaxic center. The pneumotaxic center which is present in the pons orally, where the pneumotaxic centers are occurs in the pons orally. Near the medulla oblongata, that is called pons orally. The pons orally only the pneumotaxic centers are present. What is called pneumotaxic center? The pneumotaxic center means it is responsible for both inspiration and also the expiration. Both the respiratory center, one is called inspiratory center and expiratory center, which is present in the pneumotaxic center, is controlled both inspiration. Inspiration means intake of oxygen into the lungs and releasing of carbon dioxide away from the lungs, that is called expiration. Both is controlled by pneumotaxic center. The help of this pneumotaxic center only is helpful for normal breathing and also inspiration and also the expiration. The next that is called chemosensitive area. Chemosensitive area which is present in this rhythmic center, breathing center, that is called chemosensitive area. The chemosensitive area is very sensitive to carbon dioxide and also the hydrogen ions. Where the chemosensitive area is present near this rhythmic center. Very close to this rhythmic center, that is called chemosensitive area. The chemosensitive area is very sensitive to carbon dioxide and also the hydrogen ions. At the same time, during the time of respiration, process, the hydrogen ions are eliminated out. Right? Chemosensitive area means the chemosensitive area which is present near this rhythmic center, rhythmic breathing center. The main role of the chemosensitive area is sensitive to carbon dioxide and also hydrogen ions. During the time of respiration, the hydrogen ions are eliminated out. In addition to this chemosensitive center, the receptors which is connected to this breathing center means that is called respiratory center. The receptor that is called this aortic arches and another one is called this carotid artery. Both are receptors which is connected to this rhythmic center. The aortic arches and also the carotid arteries regularly send the necessary impulse to this breathing center and helpful for normal breathing. In the same time, the role of oxygen is insignificant. The role of oxygen is insignificant. In this way, in our body, the respiration takes place. Specialized structure, respiratory center, that is called medulla oblongata. The medulla responsible for rhythmic breathing. That's why it is called respiratory center and also breathing center. In addition to this respiratory center, near to the respiratory center, that is called pneumotaxic center. Pneumotaxic center, which is present in this pons varoli and the cerebral part, both inspiration and also expiration. Rhythmic functioning of respiration takes place with the help of this pneumotaxic center. Very close to this rhythmic center, another one that is called chemosensitive area. The chemosensitive area sensitive to carbon dioxide and also the hydrogen ions. At the same time, during the process of respiration, the hydrogen ions are eliminated out. At the same time, the receptors which is connected to this aortic arch and also the carotid artery, the aortic arch and the carotid artery send the signal to this breathing center and help for normal breathing. Next we go for problems in oxygen transport. Problems in oxygen transport. When a person or the individuals travels from sea level to the elevations above the 8,000 feet, when it is moved from sea level to these mountains, 8,000 feet, whereas in these mountains the atmospheric pressure and also the partial pressure oxygen is very lower. When a person travel from sea level to these elevations above the feet of 8,000 feet, where this atmosphere, during the time this atmospheric pressure and also the partial pressure is lower. When the oxygen pressure in this atmosphere and also the partial pressure is lower, the individuals or the persons respond some symptoms that is called acute mountain sickness. Acute mountain sickness. When this person show the acute mountain sickness, the person show the symptoms headache, nausea, shortness of breath and also dizziness. These are the symptoms are commonly seen in acute mountain sickness person. It is also the acute mountain symptoms. It is also caused due to this poor binding of oxygen. Poor binding of oxygen into the hemoglobin. The acute mountain sickness occurs due to this poor binding of oxygen into this hemoglobin. At the same time, during the time, the oxygen supply to the hemoglobin is demand. That's why the symptoms are occur, that is called a headache, nausea, shortness of breath and also dizziness. This all occurs due to this poor binding of oxygen to the hemoglobin. During the time, the kidney, the respiratory, our body adjusts. Body adjusts. What adjustment occurs in this body? Body adjusts formation of respiratory pigment, formation of respiratory pigment and also erythropoietin. Erythropoietin. This adjustment our body make adjust when the poor binding of oxygen in this hemoglobin occurs, our body make adjust for formation of respiratory pigment and also erythropoietin. During the time, the kidney accelerate production of hormones, and also the erythropoietin, blood pigment, erythropoietin. Kidney accelerate production of hormones and also the erythropoietin. At the same time, to this overcome of binding of oxygen to the hemoglobin, the kidney stimulate bone marrow to produce more RBC. Problems in oxygen transport. When this person or the individuals travels sea level to this elevations above the level of the 800 feet, whereas the atmospheric pressure and also the partial pressure in the oxygen is very lower. Due to this individual response symptoms, that is called acute mountain sickness. When this acute mountain sickness occurs, the symptoms are commonly seen for headache, nausea, shortness of breath, and dizziness. This all occurs. It is due to this poor binding of oxygen into the hemoglobin. To the time only our body make adjust. What adjustment? Formation of respiratory pigment and also the erythropoietin. To the time the kidney accelerate production of hormones and also erythropoietin. When these accelerate the kidney production of hormone and erythropoietin, the same time the kidney stimulate the hormones. The kidney stimulate the bone marrow to produce more RBC. Next problem for oxygen transport. When a person descends to deep sea, when a person goes or descends to deep sea, lung volume is decrease. Why the lung volume is decrease mean? When the person goes to descend to this deep sea, the surrounding water of the sea, surrounding water of the deep sea is increased. Pressure is increased. Surrounding water, pressure is increased. When the person descends to deep sea, lung volume is decreased. It is due to this. When the surrounding water, the deep sea pressure is increased, lung volume is decreased. When the lung volume is decreased, inside the lung, the partial pressure of oxygen is increased. When the person descends to the deep sea, surrounding water in the sea pressure is increased. When the pressure is increased, the lung volume is decreases. When the inside the lung volume is decreases, the pressure, the partial pressure of oxygen is increased. When the lung volume decrease, partial pressure of oxygen is increased. When the partial pressure of oxygen is increased in this lung, more supply of oxygen into the blood. More supply of oxygen into this blood. When the lung volume decrease, the partial pressure inside the lung is increased. When the partial pressure of the lung is increased inside the lung, more oxygen supply into the circulation. This is one of the benefit. And another way, due to this benefit, one of the risk, when the more oxygen into this blood, increased pressure can drive, and when the pressure of the oxygen is increased inside the blood, nitrogen enter into the circulation. Nitrogen also enter into the circulation. When the nitrogens enter into the circulation, when the nitrogen level increase in this blood, that condition is said to be nitrogen narcosis. Nitrogen narcosis. What is called nitrogen narcosis? When the person descends into the deep sea level, surrounding water of the sea level, the pressure is increased. When the pressure is increased, surrounding water, the sea level, lung volume decrease. When the volume is decreases, the partial pressure inside the lung is increased. When the partial pressure is increased, more supply of oxygen into the blood. More supply of oxygen into this blood is one of the benefit, because more blood supply into the circulation. In another way, due to this benefit, another one risk, when the pressure of oxygen is increased, nitrogen gas enter into the circulation. When the nitrogen level is increased, that condition is said to be nitrogen narcosis. That is called as nitrogen narcosis. Right, okay? When the person suddenly or quickly ascend surface to the sea level, when a person is suddenly or quickly ascend come out away from the sea level. That condition is called bends or decompression. What is called bends or decompression mean? When a person come to the surface level or ascend to the sea level quickly, that condition is called bends or decompression. When during the time of when the decompression is occur, the nitrogen, when the nitrogen which is present in the solution is come out. When the person quickly ascend to the sea level, the nitrogen which is present in the blood come out. When the nitrogen come out and to forming of bubbles. When the nitrogen is come out, forming of bubbles in the blood. Forming of bubbles in the blood. The bubbles are, if the bubbles are small, harmless. If the bubbles are small, harmless, no any harmful effect to the body. If the bubbles are larger, the larger bubbles sometimes they make a blockage in these capillaries and also blood vessels. Small bubbles means no any harmful effect to this small bubble is a harmless. If the bubbles are large, the bubbles may blockage, make a block and also accumulated in the capillary, any other blood vessel. It is harmful to our body. Harmful to our body. The same time, due to this decompression, due to these symptoms of the decompression, mostly affect this joint of the pain in the joint. The symptoms commonly seen due to this decompression, pain in the joint, pain in the joint, the bone, and also pain in the muscles, and also affect the neurological problems. Neurological problems. Due to these neurological problems, maybe a stroke occur. That is called a cerebral thrombosis, and also cerebral thrombosis. That is called a stroke. These are the two common problems occurs for oxygen transport. The second one is called when a person descends to deep sea, surrounding water, sea level increase, pressure is increased. When the pressure is increased, lung volume decrease. When the lung volume decrease, inside the lung, the partial pressure of oxygen is increased. When the partial pressure of oxygen is increased, more supply of oxygen into this blood. When more supply of oxygen into this blood is a benefit, one of the beneficial. In this way, at the same time, another one of the risk that is called when the partial pressure of oxygen is increased, nitrogen gas enter into the blood. When the nitrogen gas enter into this blood, when the level of nitrogen is increased, that condition is said to be nitrogen narcosis. At the same time, when a person quickly or suddenly come out to the surface of the sea level, that condition is called bends or decompression. When the decompression, during the time of decompression, nitrogens are come out from this blood vessel. Now come out from this blood and also forming a bubbles. When it forming a bubbles, the bubbles are smaller in size, small bubbles, no any harmful effect on our body. If the bubbles are larger in size, larger bubbles make a blockage in this capillary and also other blood vessel. Severe other symptoms are occurs. When this decompression commonly, due to this decompression, common symptoms that is called pain in the joint, in the bone and also the muscles and affect these neurological problems. And due to this neurological problem, the strokes are occurs. At the same time, when the both both bends and also the nitrogen narcosis. Both are commonly seen in the scuba divers. At the same time, the carbon dioxide cause of carbon dioxide poisoning. Carbon dioxide poisoning. When the carbon dioxide poisoning is increase, carbon dioxide poisoning is increase demand of oxygen. When the demand of oxygen, the oxygen level is decrease. Oxygen level is decrease. When this demand of oxygen level is decrease, leads to suffocation. That is called Buchitnal. Suffocation, and also the skin turns bluish black. These are the symptoms are seen. Next, we go for disorders of respiratory systems. The respiratory systems are highly affected by various factors. First one is called environmental factors. Second is called occupational factors. Third one is called personal factors. And the fourth one is called social factors. These are the environmental factor, occupational factor, and also the personal factor, social factor, which is responsible for causes of various respiratory disorder like asthma, pneumonia, bronchitis, tuberculosis. These are the various diseases which is caused by these environmental factors. First one is called asthma. Asthma means narrowing and also the inflammation of bronchi. This is a trachea. Respiratory system main, that is called the trachea. Trachea for the divided into two branches, right and left branches, that is called bronchi. Bronchi for the divided into primary bronchi, secondary bronchi, tertiary bronchi, like that. For the divided into minute branches. Either the bronchi is the trachea, the main common branch is trachea. Trachea further into two branches, right and left bronchi. Either narrowing of bronchi or bronchioles. Narrowing of bronchi or narrowing or inflammation of bronchi and also the bronchioles. Due to this, what cannot able to breathe in normal way, difficulty in breathing. So main common symptoms in for asthma. What is the common allergen for asthma? Either dust or drug or food items like fish and prawn. These are the allergic substance which is caused for asthma. Next is called tuberculosis. Next respiratory disorder that is called tuberculosis. Tuberculosis caused by one of the bacteria, Mycobacterium. Caused by one of the bacteria, Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Mycobacterium tuberculosis is one of the bacteria which is causes a disease that is called tuberculosis. Mostly it is infection or occurs in this. The tuberculosis infection commonly seen in bones, infection seen in infected area, that is called bones and also lungs. What are the symptoms of tuberculosis? Collection of fluid between the chest wall. Collection of fluid between the chest wall. Collection of fluid between this. Collection of fluid between these lungs. Collection of fluid between these lungs. That is called this tuberculosis. Next one is called this bronchitis, inflammation of bronchi. Bronchitis, inflammation of bronchi. Either inflammation or inflated. Either inflammations or inflated bronchi. Due to this, the person cannot able to breathe in normal way. That is called bronchitis. Pneumonia, another one of the respiratory disorder that is called this pneumonia. Pneumonia is caused by the bacteria, either bacteria or virus. Either bacteria or virus. That is called this pneumonia. If the caused by the bacteria, bacterial pneumonia. If caused by this virus, that is called this viral pneumonia. Symptoms, sputums are produced. The person cannot not able to breathe in a normal way. Nasal congestion, sore throat. All these symptoms occurs due to this what pneumonia. Next one is called emphysema. Emphysema means widening of alveoli. Gradual degeneration of alveoli. Gradual degeneration of alveoli. What is called alveoli? Inside the lungs, small sac-like structures. That is called air sacs or alveoli. Gradual degeneration of alveolar surface. This small air sacs, this alveoli. Gradual degeneration of alveolar surface. When the alveolar surface degeneration is occur, the exchange of gases not takes place. Exchange of alveolar surface are affected. Due to this, the person cannot able to breathe normal way. That is called this emphysema. It is also occurred due to this over smoking of cigarette. Due to this over smoking of cigarette, the alveolar surface become degenerated. When the alveolar surface become degenerated, the gases exchange surface area is affected. The person cannot able to breathe a normal way. Mostly it is caused due to this smoking of cigarette. The remaining topic, occupational respiratory disorder and effect of smoking, all we see the next class. Thank you.